Okay, so we've recorded our speech. We recorded it on an iPad. We've uploaded it onto a Google Drive folder. And we're going to try and add some subtitles using Google Drive and a text editor. So you need to use a text editor for this and not Google Docs because it does something slightly different with the formatting of the file. If you haven't got a text editor, this is the one that we're going to use. So you just go to the Chrome Web Store, search for it, and you can install that on a Chromebook or as an app if you're using a laptop on the Chrome browser. I've already got it installed. So for me, it says launch app. Or if I go down to the little button here, I can see all of my apps there. And this one in particular is here, but I've already moved it by clicking and holding it, and I've docked it to my bar at the bottom. So whenever I want it, I can easily grab it. I'm just going to go into the folder, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm looking at Aidan's today. So I can see Aidan's videos here, and I've already made a subtitle file for him. We spoke about this earlier in our class, that we know that a .srt file contains text, but it is used to create subtitles. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to my text editor and open that up. It opens up as an app because it's not an extension. So that means it opens up in its own little box. I'm going to go open here, and then it's going to take me to see my drive. I could go into my drive and look for it wherever it will be, the particular file. Most likely, if your teacher's done it, in this case here, it will be in the shared with me area. So if I went into the shared with me, I could see the files that I've got access to. I'm actually just going to go to where that file lives because I haven't shared it with myself, and I'm using my account just to show you how this works. So I'll go into where those speeches live, and I'm going to find the file that's relevant to Aidan. Now, we've named our files exactly the same as our movie file because that's a good habit. So I've got aidan4g.srt, and I'm just going to hit open there. Hopefully, as that opens, I can now see, I can hit those three dots if I want, just to move the menu out of the way. And I can see a few different things. So I set this subtitle file up for you. So the things like WEB, VTT at the top, you just leave that. We don't worry about that. This line here is a timestamp. So it tells us when the text is going to start and when it's going to end for everything that I write underneath. So in this instance, it's going to start at 3.5 seconds in, and it's going to stop at 7 seconds, and it's going to say, "Good morning, everyone. My name is Aidan." And then for every other subtitle that I want, I need to copy a new timestamp. It has to have a start and an end, and then I put my text underneath. You're probably going to want to do them in short sentences because we don't want loads of speech coming up all at once, because then it becomes really tricky to read. Once you've done that, you can hit the 3 lines again and hit save so that that file's saved. Once I've got that there, I'm just going to hit X on my text editor. I'm now back in Drive, and I've got the folder open with my movie and with my subtitle file. I'm going to right-click on my video file. It could be a movie file, it could be an AVI, depending on what you use to record it. I've now got this option here that says Manage Caption Tracks. I'm going to click on that. Caption is another word for subtitles. We call them closed captions. Quite often, that's what it says if you use Netflix and things like that. It then opens up my video. That's going to take a few seconds to load up. And then it gives me a chance to add new caption tracks here. This caption track that we're going to add here is going to be the subtitle file that we have just made. So I'm going to click that. Once it loads, you can see it's taking a little bit of time to still load my video. But while it's loading the video, I can still have a search, hopefully, for the subtitle track by clicking on it. So it's going to open up my drive again. When it opens up the drive, we've just got to be a little bit patient. It should hopefully be one of the most recent files for you. So I can see I've got aidan4g.srt. That's what I want. So I'm just going to select that one, highlight it, and make sure I've selected that one there. Once I select it, I've just got to add a few options to the right. So I can say I'm going to give this track the title Introduction because I know it's an introduction. I'm going to leave the language as English, and then I'm going to hit Upload there. Once I do that, it'll take a minute or so. Sometimes the screen might flash, like you can see my videos just flashing there, and it's gone a bit grey. It will reload, and then hopefully we should be able to hit play and see some subtitles appear. So we're going to hit play and see how we go. Just waiting a few seconds for it to load. I'm just going to check that the sound is up on this laptop while that's doing that. Okay, and then it's taking a little bit of time to load because maybe the server's a little bit slow. Once it does start playing, we're going to hope that our first piece of text comes up. We're going to expect it to start at 3 seconds because that's when our timestamps start, and go from there. So we're going to hit play. Wait for 3. See 3 at the bottom.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Aiden, and today I will be talking about how and why we should protect the environment. Firstly,
Okay, now we can see that there's other things there, and maybe there's a problem with a couple of tracks, but our first one worked. It came up at the time we expected. Once you've done that, it's just a question of going back into your text editor. So I'm going to open my text editor again by just clicking down here. And then I'm going to go back into that subtitle file because it's the last file I actually used. It default opens it for me. And now I'm going to need to work out the different things and what I need to change and play around with this text file. Once I get that, I'm going to just keep coming, opening, closing it. I might just hit the minimize button because I'm going to go back to it. And then I might need to then just delete that one every time I make a change. And then I would add that file again because I've made a change to it. And then I would go from there. Then we keep going through that process, watching a bit, add some new titles, watch a bit until you've subtitled your whole speech.